Good evening, everybody. Welcome to tonight's stream. Just firing it off there just to let everyone know we're down in the depot today. We're down in the depot. Good evening to every single one of you joining us this evening. Just want to make sure. Just making sure that none of you are getting blasted by the fan I have in my loft, keeping me cool tonight. So hopefully you can't hear my biggest fan down on the floor below me. So good evening, everybody, for joining us. Ooh, it's a hot one. It is megally hot. It is currently 30 degrees up here in the loft. I am sweltering already. But thankfully, with my biggest fan, I should be hoping to keep a little bit cooler. My biggest fan, let's show you my biggest fan. Who likes to see my biggest fan? Let me show you. My biggest fan today is indeed this bad boy. Ooh, helping to keep me cool. But yes, we're down in the depot today, working on more stuff to be adding to the layout. Last week we did the 5G masts and they went down an absolute storm. They were fantastic and they look incredible on the layout. Those who are channel members will have seen photographs dotted around of the masts dotted around the layout that we did last week, and they do look the part. So let's say hello to everybody that's in the chat tonight. Good evening to New Durham Junction, who has recently been live himself. Mousehole Rail, good evening to you. Thank you for joining us. Someone called Barnabas Junction, not sure who he is, must be new, so hello to you. Mick92, good evening, folks. He says, hope you are all well. Aaronville, good evening, Aaron. Thank you for joining us. Great to have you here. Hope you'll enjoy the stream. Mysterious Mechanic 24, good evening to you for joining us. Thank you very much, Mysterious Mechanic. Peter Jackson of Cheadle Heath, good evening. He says, hi, Jason, and all in the chat tonight. So good evening to you. Hot Dog Pilot Andy is in the house, and he certainly is a hot dog tonight. Brian of Finnerton Central Model Railway saying hi to everybody. Saying hi to Andy and Jake. And the Growler, Blackwood Engage, is in, saying evening all. Trevor is in, Trevor Vale. Good evening to you, Trevor. Thank you for joining us. And the number one mega mod, Flymo Chairman 1, is in. Good evening to you. How do you two? I am well, but hot. Well, 99% well after a little incident. More on that in a moment. Clive Gabold, good evening to you, Clive. Thank you for joining us. SJ Train World, good evening. Whoop, whoop, evening, everybody. He says, whoop, whoop to you as well. Thank you for joining us. Moving on then, who else? Timber Surf, evening. Timber Surf, evening. Good evening, Timber. Thank you for joining us. Saying everyone's still saying hello to one another. Yes, good evening to you all. Thank you all for joining me on episode 6 of Your Train Talk. Here live every 6 p.m. on a Thursday. Yeah, ouch. So, yes, I had a little bit of an incident with a drill last Friday, and I've been a little bit incapacitated with my left hand ever since. You can't see much as it is at the moment. It has been I did end up in A&E with it, as it was quite a severe injury to my finger. So let me just show you how it looks today, although it is still got a plaster on it. So it does not look much, but I guarantee you now it is a lot. It is still very painful. My whole finger was bandaged up, but so yesterday the bandage came off and I was advised just put a plaster bandage around it afterwards. That's what's on it now. That only went back on yesterday evening. But for those of you who've seen my picture on Facebook, my social media, you would have seen the injury. see actually if I can find it for you. So yeah, it does not look much, I'll give you that. But if you knew what happened, you would know, you would be thinking, ouch. It's definitely ouch. So let me see if I can get that up on screen for you. I'll keep forgetting how to operate this software. So there we go. So let me bring that up on screen. Doesn't look much, I'll grant you that. But it's not everything you see on the screen. Let me just zoom in on that if it'll let me. Yeah, there we go. So zoom in. That is the injury. Yeah, it doesn't look much, but it's what's inside, which is more of an incident than what looks on the outside. I was using a cordless power drill to put a screw into a piece of wood, well, attempting to at least, and the screw slipped sideways, meaning the drill moved, slipped off the screw, and took a direct hit straight onto my finger. And I haven't got one to show you as an example, but if you can imagine a screwdriver, an extra wide screwdriver, it's actually the width of that hole in my finger. That is actually a hole. It went down into my finger, past the bone, nearly coming out the opposite side. It went in, well, my fingers are what, about an inch depth. It went in about 3/4 of an inch into my finger while it was spinning round and churned up all the insides of the finger. Yes, so if you've got a bit of a weak stomach, mute the microphone now. It churned up all the insides of my finger, and I have now lost the feeling in the tip of my finger. Fingers crossed, pardon the pun. That feeling is beginning to come back. So the injury is here, and it goes down deep into my finger to about here. So from there to here, past the bone, I had to have it x-rayed because they needed to check whether I actually shredded the bone in the tip of my finger. Thankfully, I hadn't. But I have lost the feeling in the end of my finger. I've shredded the nerves, and there is no, from the injury to the tip of my finger. So it's my ring finger. So gives you an example. This finger, it went down to, trying to gauge this now. So it went through into my finger there and went down to about, in fact, I'll use this. It went down to about that far into my finger from the top up there to there, just past the bone, shredding all the nerves. So I have no nerve feeling. It is slowly, I can feel there just a bit, but about there, I'll start losing the feeling, and it's completely numb there all the way around. What you see in that hole there, that is how big the screwdriver bit end was on the drill. So you can, that's a piece of skin that was ripped off. I put it back on to seal it up and then pressed it down. That bit of skin has died and is now become a scab. So it's still a big open wound, but it is very dry. The top of it's turned into a big scab, but inside it is still very well injured. That is the injury that occurred for me last Friday afternoon. Thanks to the wife rushing me to Leighton. There was blood everywhere. It was like a fountain. And I did nearly pass out, not from the sight of an injury, but just from shock and the pain. And did nearly pass out. But thanks to the wife, I did manage to stay alert and awake. Nearly. I was about 95% passed out. But yes, fantastic work by the hospital team. Absolutely incredible. the way they helped me, checked me over, make sure I was all right. So 10 out of 10, 100 out of 10 for the nursing and hospital staff who dealt with me. I could quite easily have lost my finger if I hadn't been treated so fast and promptly. But yeah, huge thanks to the hospital staff and to the wife. So that is my injury. Yes. Enough of injuries. Enough of stomach churning injury. We're going down in the depot today. Why are we down in the depot? Well, we're working on something right in front of you. Before we do, let's have a look at the chat and see who we've missed that has come into the chat since. Scrolling back through to where I was up to. There we go. So, good evening also to Dragon Junction Mark II. Hi, everyone. I see none of us are on the voting list on Hornby YouTube list. First I've heard of it, Alan. But I'm not in it for that. Who cares? I'm in it for the hobby. Posy Drive, says Flymo. Yes, a cross-headed Posy driver. Ivo's in. Good evening, Ivo. Piccadilly, hi, Jason. Everyone's sorry to hear you had an accident. What happened to you? Sorry if I missed you saying. Yes, you just caught me saying that. John Warner of Piccadilly Model Railways. Everyone's saying, ouch. Yeah, New Durham, New Junction has hardly put anything out, but he's on the list. Oh, there we go. Piccadilly, John is saying hi to one and everybody. Mr. Golden V, evening, folks. Evening to you. Nice to see someone new in the stream. Excuse me. Please do click the thumbs up button if you're in. Ouch, says Aaron. Time to buy a chainmail gloves. Yeah, that would have been absolutely a good idea, but I can tell you now, I won't be having my fingers anywhere near my drill next time. Bashu does look painful. It was. When did this happen? Friday, John. Friday afternoon. It does. You got to remember, your fingertips are one of the most sensitive parts of the human body. So if you create injury to that, you're going to know about it. It's going to take a while to heal up. It's that deep. Yeah, I've been advised it's going to take about 3 months before I'll get the nerve feeling back in the end of my finger. Mick92 says drop of super glue. That did come across my mind actually, but due to the incident, the way it happened, all my super glue was up here in the loft, so I didn't have the opportunity to dash up here and grab any. On the blues and twos, then, well, it was a blue car, but no twos. Apart from my blasphemy from it all. I hope you're feeling better after your accident, Jason. Ivor's from Ivor. Thank you, Ivor. Yes, I am feeling much better. What a fright you get. Yeah, like new skin. Lord Allen, hope you're well, says Ivor. Nice old green Scania there. Where are we going? Green Scania. Where are we looking? Green Scania. Oh right, you mean the truck? Yes, it is. BP truck. Tunnel security tight in sight. Has anybody else I missed? Just watching the news. Network Rail in court in Scotland. Oh dear. I think the tongue has the most nerves. I think you're right there. When I was a teenager, I sliced through my little finger across the fingerprints. When I was a young kid, I got my finger, and I think it's the same finger actually. I got my fingers on my left hand. Do you remember caravans with metal aluminium doors and door frames, the silver door frames? Well, I was on holiday with the family in a caravan, and it was a windy day, and the caravan door wasn't clipped back. And I had my hands in the door frame of this aluminium caravan door frame, and the door swung shut in the wind with my fingers still in the door frame. So you can imagine, I think I was about 6 or 7 years old. You can imagine the screams that caused. And I still have the marks, where the aluminium sliced into my fingers. I did get actually a police escort from the holiday camp to the local hospital. I think I was in Perranport at the time. Might have been Perrin Sands, actually. Oh, yes, the caravan made of pressed steel. Yes, you all remember that. Yeah, those were the days. Everyone's, we got someone else in I've not said hello to. GWR, Buckley Junction, good evening. This fan's making me lose my breath. Wolfsack is in, Scenics PW. Excellent stuff. Talking of Scenics, make sure you stay with me at the end of tonight's stream, because Donegal Dad will be going live as we finish. There will be a link in the chat for you to click on and go straight over. He is doing scenery tonight, one of my favorite topics. I will certainly be watching, and I hope you will all be joining me over at Donegal Dad Rails live stream from 7:30, straight after this. Flymo says, my sister lost her finger end to a door bar being shut on her hand. Ouch. Ouch, 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 ouch. Have you lost that finger feeling? You've lost that finger feeling. Oh, that finger feeling. I had to sing that, Craig. Door frame disaster. My long gone granddad shut my right hand in a car door frame. I cried, of course, as I was only 7. Ooh, I bet that was painful. And I bet you've got the scars as well to go along with it. But anyway, yes, let's get on. We've been chatting. I love chatting. I do love chatting. Let's get on with tonight's stream. So, what is it we're doing tonight in the stream? Last week we did the masts, the 5G masts. If you haven't seen last week's stream, please do check it out after you watch this and Donegal Dad stream. If you have, thank you for joining me last week. The week before we did what did we do with the week before? I've forgotten. Oh, we did the line side cabinet platforms, and they came out excellent, all from Scenic 3D. I've tilted that fan down. It's blowing in my face and taking my breath away. Get a quick drink. But today we're going to be doing some changes, adding another product from Scenic 3D. And that product did feature on the first stream. Is this? We're going to be doing this. There's lots of this. These are security fencing. These are provided by scenic3d.co.uk. And these are going to replace what you saw on the screen. What were they? Well, let's take you back and look. So in front of you on the screen, you can see there those ones. They are MDF ones. They were fantastic at the time, and they still are reasonably fantastic, but they have become a little bit worn, we could say. And also, they're a little tiny bit overscale, I think. As if you look at that character, the person that's walking along, the bottom of the barrier should be pretty much level with his hand or just above his hand. So that character is 1 in 76 scale. So you can tell that it's slightly overscaled. Now, if I place this, put this new one, you'll see the difference. Comprende? You can see the difference there in the new one and the old one and the replacement one. Flymer says, Mum got the bit of finger and then grafted it to her next finger, and she still has the graft scar. Wow! But the damaged finger is fine. Anyway, to the trains. Ivo says he booked a trip to Miwala in October. Lovely. Yes, does look smaller, says Peter. So we're going to be replacing the originals with these new, what I would say is more to scale, really. I'll just move the camera back a bit. There you go. So it's a little bit more in focus. So it gives you an idea of the scale difference. So these are, where did the original ones come from? They were scale model scenery. They are brilliant, but they are as you can see, slightly off scale. So I'm going to be replacing them. They are MDF. So I'll just show you. Now, the microphone is in one side of the loft. Hopefully you'll still be able to hear me. So let me get my tweezers. So these are what's going in its place. And if you can see these are really flimsy. You bend over. And they've literally just got to get knocked. And they will go over. And after, with them being MDF, they eventually break. These will break very easily. They'll snap. These ones were put on first, and then these ones down here were put on a little later. These are flimsy as well, but they are the same kit. So we're going to be replacing these with these. Because these are plastic, they are 3D printed. They're a lot stronger, a lot sturdier, and more, I would say, in scale, shall we say. So we've got a loco in the way. So let's move that loco out of the yard. To move that loco out of the yard, we need to start the engine up. You might not be able to hear it, but it is running, and you have heard the horn at the beginning of the stream. So far, we have a heat wave, and I'm off to Spain for 2 weeks in the morning. Oh, you're taking the heat with you. Spain is currently having a lot of rain. Just like Greece, anyone traveling to Greece over the next few days, that's going to be absolutely swimming. Brian says, excuse me for being quiet. I am listening, but building a roof section. Delph Junction is in. Good evening, Delph. Thank you for joining us. We've got a bit of thunderstorm, so may have lightning. And if I disappear from chat, you'll know that's happening. Yeah, we had some... is anybody's cars covered in sand today? Absolutely poured down with sand rain last night. Got to go and wash the cars, but apparently we're going to get it again tonight. So we're going to leave it till tomorrow. Okay. Let's move it out. Moving on out. Oh, been a dirty track. No, I should have tested that beforehand. Turn that off. Right, so it's out of the way. Should have just lifted it out. Sorry for the noise. Right. So the first thing I need to do is obviously remove the original. Now this was glued in with super glue, and at the base it did frost up. So what I've got to do is try and clean up. So what we're going to do is tonight, Matthew, we're going to start off by removing this bit here. So this gentleman is stuck down, and so is that one, so we can't move him. So, all being well, this should just lift straight off. Look at how flimsy it is. Yep, it's literally just lifting straight off. That was a bit strong. Some of it's just waggle it and it just literally breaks. And there it is. So let me just bring that closer to the camera so you can see how flimsy this is. Because it's made of very, very thin MDF, it's not brilliant. But what I'm not going to throw this away. I'm going to save it because I'm going to use it as scrap. It's going to be stuff lying around. So in theory, we could say there's been an upgrade at the depot. The fencing's been replaced, but the old fencing's been left lying around. Never throw anything away when you're replacing it. what we call upcycle it and use it somewhere else on the layout or whatever, wherever you want it to be in the same place. Use it as scrap. Make a scrap scene out of it. So what I need to do now is where they were, cut the very tips off, chisel the glue off, so my hand might get in the way for a moment. Another one off. Gone. Now there's a big chunk here. That was off. So it's taken a bit of the ballasting away where the super glue was, but that's fine because there's all reeds and stuff to go on it, so coverage will fill any holes up. Trying to grip things with my fingers on my left hand is a little bit difficult when you're using not as many fingers as you usually have. And just move the camera over there. Another look. So they glued in well, that I can say. But obviously they were quite flimsy above, which meant knocking it, it looked poor. It did not look good. Oh, that's strained my finger, that did. My lips are... Old Metcalf offcuts come in handy. Yeah, that's right. John Wildball, thank you for joining us this evening. Doing all right, Andy? And Held Down Model Railway is in. A good evening to you too. Careful, Jason. Watch your fingers. Yes, that's just a little bit, actually. Although it's numb, the end of my finger, the actual finger still aches. Bloody buses, never no time, always a queue. So, I've got different lengths of this fencing. I think the standard length is, that is the standard length, but I've got some smaller pieces as well. So I need enough to fill that zone. There's also some slightly different shaped stuff pieces as well. So definitely got. I'm just going to see if I can place it, put it in place, get it to stand up. And straight away, looking against the characters, that is a much better size of railing. Let's have a look. Can I get that all the way to the end? Not quite. So what I might have to do is use two pieces. I might actually have that run all the way down. I actually might use the full two pieces and have it resting against there. Yeah, I like that. So we'll get those two pieces added in there. See if we can stand it up. Nope, it won't stand up. Anyway, so I am still, again, I'm going to be using super glue to glue them down. But super glue gel, or medium grade super glue, as you could say. But I like the super glue gels. It's what I'm going to attempt to use. And to speed things up, a bit of an activator. So I'm going to use my tweezers here because I don't want to affect the fingers. can rest my hand on the building. So I want it to be, get a better grip on that. So I'm hoping you can still hear me. Just checking its placement of where it's going. So I might do this end here. Let's get the camera around. So I'm going to put a bit of glue just there. Just on the end. There's my activator. It's not going to stick yet. I'm going to put a bit more glue yet. Put a bit more on there. There we go. Right. Get that in place. And I'll just activate that. Oh, it's going, it's sticking. There we go. So I don't want to put too much on just yet. Spray a bit more activator on there. Set that gel. That's good. Working well. And it goes around a slight bend just there. So I need to press that down to there and glue that down. There is a slight hump just there. So if I glue that one down, good. Put the finger away. The glue going to set. Now, I've not used the super glue activator with this super glue gel before, so I might have switched glues in a moment if this doesn't hold properly. I think it has. And then I'll get the end one on, and then I'll be gluing the separate ones in the middle. With the extra glue later. Wait for that to bond. James Bond. Shaken, not stirred. That's held. Now, I want to put that one right up against it. So, I'm just going to file off the very tip of that. There we go. Had a bit of a pointy edge on it. So, again, with super glue gel. Hold that in place. Let it bond. That's now bonded. Now the end of this needs to bend downwards slightly. So I need to, so just beyond here, it does bend downwards. I'm going to stick that one there, but I might cut this off. I don't know. Do you think that looks better running all the way along to there? Or would it look better if I cut that off and turn that round so it went along the back? You understand? What do you guys think? Right. Thought you did enough tick filling, Jason. Yeah. Having a look at the chat. H8 Express, hi's in. Hi. Robert Applybridge is in. No idea what I done wrong to be blocked accordingly. Don't know what. Oh, right, yeah. Okay. Nothing. Did you say that was MDF or plastic? Says Delphi. The original, wherever I put it, the original, this one, is MDF or fine wood. That's why it's so thin and very bendy and easily warps. But this is plastic 3D printed by Scenic 3D. It's a lot more sturdy and a lot more realistic size. That's to Del. Thanks for the question. Fiber says, is that West Hillbank Works fence? No, it's scenic3d.co.uk. Moreland Model Railway, Andy is in. Good evening to you, Moreland. Andy, thanks for joining us. It's a tricky little fence, says Simon. Just catching up on the chat. A busy Saturday, says Mousehole Rail. I have it's my birthday, plus we'll be seeing the Statesman Rail Tour, which is a bonus. Well, many happy returns for this upcoming Saturday, Mousehole Rail. You reckon so? Delphs reckons looks better to leave it as it is, in case anyone is local enough to Limo Railway exhibition. It says on at the weekend, 19th to September. Indeed, it is, Peter. The guys, Andy Sawyer of Sawyer's Model Railways, is the exhibition manager. Great chat, and there will be definitely a great exhibition. Show us from above, says Moreland Model Railway, Andy. So I'm trying to show you at the same time, see what I'm doing. So we've replaced that bit there. Do I leave it there, or do I turn it so it follows the footpath? Skipsy Trains is in. Good evening, Jason. Good evening, everyone. I hope you're all well. We are indeed. Thank you for joining us. I hope you are well too, my friend. The thumbs up was to let Jason see we could hear him, Andy. Yeah, in my case, it's fingers up, isn't it? Del says, that's why I bought the plastic ones. Yeah, they are better. So, what do you think then? Is it leave it where it is? Wolfsack says, leave it where it is. So does Andy Moreland. Yes, scrap after the light. There is some scrap pile heat there. Oh, Aaron says, my vote is to follow the path. Ooh, what make is the activator? Good old. Look. WW Scenic Super Glue Activator Spray. I've had that nearly over a year. Brilliant stuff. Works with all super glues, not just their own. Follow the path, John. Oh. Well, tell you what. Let me get this small piece here and put that small piece in. Obviously, it won't be that long. Try and get it to stand up. There we go. See if we can get the camera to balance on there. Hang on. Without it pulling on the cable. There we go. Right, there we go. So just put a small piece there. What do you think? Yeah? So I could leave that as it is. In fact, why am I asked? Why are we debating on whether to leave it? Why don't I just do both? Leave that where it is. Add the small piece from here to there. And winner chicken dinner. Tell you what I'll do, so you get the right size. I'm just going to snip off one of those bits. To do that, I need me knife. Right. I'll snip off one piece. There we go. So that's now a shortened piece. Got to make sure there's enough room for the train, so I might have to go another one. Hang on then. Got to work out the length. Right, so enough gaps. So probably another one. Or one and a half. Another one. And I'll use these offcuts elsewhere. Bring the 66 up to it to check. I can do that. I'm just trying to get it to balance. Easier said than done. Wants to stick to my finger. But I haven't got any grip in my finger, so I can't tell if I'm holding it. Yay, we got it to stay up. So let's have an overview view, whatever you want to say. There we go. So it kind of protects one area. I would check your local passes. I did that with the violet section. Had to rebuild it. It was so annoying. I had that. I used to have a piece here, just there, single section, but the locos were hitting it, so I had to take it away. But yeah, do you think that is suitable now? Should we stick it down? I think we should. Right. Thank you very much for all your suggestions. Excellent ideas there. Just balancing the camera again. There we go. Limo says the handrail looks right, just like that. Excellent. Right, so let's get that stuck in place. Attempt to, at least. I'll just take that away for a moment. This is not stuck yet, so we're going to do both fences at the same time. Plenty of glue in place. Hang on a sec. Need the activator in your hand. It's difficult when you've got a numb finger. You can't feel your gripping stuff. Yeah, nearly moved it then. Right, it's activating. It's activating. It's activated. But I need to secure that down and secure that down. But this time, been a bit of a difficult one. But it's slightly on a bank. So I need to flatten this out while I'm looking at the camera. Where's the tweezers? Well, I'll put the tweezers down somewhere and I can't find them. Did anyone see the tweezers? Oh, there they are. I found them. Right, so I need the activator. Push that down. Make sure. That is set. And for this one, I'm actually going to do all 3 legs in place. There we go. Turn that back. A lot more sturdy, a lot more solid than the MDF. That's rigid. It's a little bit wet on the end still. Now we'll add the glue to the other legs along the edge. There we go. And activate. Good thing about this activate spray, it does evaporate. So you can spray it as much as you want. It will eventually dissipate. So let's see how that looks now. Much better. Much better. Right. Let me just move the camera back to that side view. You now can see the difference in the height of the person against the railing. It looks much more in scale, especially with the wall as well at the background. It looks so much more in scale. And if you're looking right in the very far left of the screen, you can see a section of the original still there in front of the shed. That is what was before to what is now. There will be some weather. It will get dirtied up and weathered in time. At the moment, I'm quite happy with it staying the yellow that it is. Grace needs the tweezers for ballasting. Looking back at the chat now, having a scroll back through. Both would be good. Why not? Looks right. Both the Simon says, bring the 66 up and check. Let's bring the 66 out. It's in there. which is derail for some reason. So yeah, plenty distance between there and the locomotive. Looks about right, actually. That does look about right. So never had a fence cut across the depot. As I said, never had a fence cut across the depot, but that does look good, says Del. Andy T is in. Good evening, Andy. Keep people on the right side in case it gets dark, indeed, says Flymo. Grace has them, yeah, the tweezers. Should be disappointed that the tweezers aren't purple. Yes, I know she likes purple, doesn't she? Looks good, says H. Like the shed lights, Jason, says Del. Those shed, I don't know. I actually don't know where those shed lights are from. They were already on the layout when I acquired it. I honestly don't know where they're from. I can't tell you, I'm afraid. Route 7 Railway, Steve. Hi, everyone. Only got live chat, no picture or sound. Picture sound is absolutely fine here. If you can hear us, Steve. Just might need to just do a refresh and you can be back with us. Still 30 degrees in this loft. Whew. It's warm. Yes, as Piccadilly just said there, John. Steve, try restarting your stream. I have vid and sound. Yeah, Route 7 Railway is Steve. Try turning it off on again. Hi, Route 7 saying hi to Brian. Move that activator spray out of the way. Now, I'll just let everybody know. I'll switch camera for this. Ooh. Yeah, switch camera for this. Just nearly drop the thing. This super glue gel that I got, if anyone wants to know what it is exceptionally cheap. Exceptionally cheap. So let me just change camera. Now, a lot of you know I love using super glue gel. This is the super glue gel I got. Now, this bottle is 20 grams, so it is a big bottle, big fat bottle. It's going to last me a long time because you only need a drop of it. For £1.50. Strong as an ox, bonds in seconds, super glue gel, instant adhesive, easy to dispense, and vertical surface contact ability. And the bonus of this is the tip will never block up, because in the end of there, can you see it? There is a tip piercer which keeps the tip of the glue stops the tip of the glue from blocking up. It's a little needle in the top. So when you put the lid on, it goes into the end and keeps the glue, stops the glue from blocking the nozzle. A little pin, yeah. £1.50 for this big bottle. If anybody wants any of this, get in touch with me. I can get absolutely tons of this for you. And I mean tons of it. At cost price. Basically, just all you need to do is pay your postage to get it to you, which will be next to nothing. You're talking probably, what, first class postage maybe. Or if you're locally, you can come and I can get it to you. Is it better than Yoo-hoo? Super glue gel is the best super glue you can get because it doesn't dribble everywhere. It doesn't run everywhere. It stays exactly as it is, a gel. And you get plenty of work time with it. Obviously, I've sped it up with the activator. But it does set fast anyway. I have used multiple different super glue gels over the years. And I found this to be the best so far. Not only is it a giant bottle for what you get for your cash for $1.50, it's the cheapest in comparison with that size. And it's really easy. It really works well. The glue dealer now. So yeah, if you like super glue gel, I have got Yoo-hoo gel that New Durham Junction did kindly bring over when he visited. But I have got plans on what I'm going to be using that for. So this is great for just doing instant scenery placements that you don't want glue going everywhere using the liquid. I have got some of this. This is the WW Scenics medium grade super glue, but that isn't a gel, that's a liquid. As you can see, it's very runny. It does work. It works very well. But this is like £5 a bottle, which, although it's brilliant, it's a little tad expensive. But until I found this is going to be my go-to glue. Ian Fraser's in. Good evening, Ian. What about Loctite? I've used Loctite super glue gel, but they're only 5 gram bottle tubes that you can get. And literally, what do you pay for those? £1, maybe £1, maybe up to £3 for a little tiny Loctite or Gorilla gels that you get for 5 grams. This is 20 grams. Says there on the front. 20 gram bottle for £1.50. Can't go wrong with that. Yeah, Loctite do the gel. I've used a lot of Loctite. I may still have a tube of it in my craft drawer. Digger Evans is in. Hey, Jason, late again, mate. Sorry, you're never late to a live stream. You join whenever you want to join. There's no Frodo Baggins here. Get the spot. Yoo-hoo gets spider webs everywhere. Not with the gel-ish. It's not as bad, but if you use standard Yoo-hoo glue, yeah, it is spider webs everywhere. Right. Should we do some more fencing? Well, I'll switch the camera and we'll at least start taking away the remainder up along that back area. So for those that have just joined us, you're going to see what's been done. Find my tweezers again. It's Grace Adam. Grace, where's my tweezers? What have I done with? I've lost them again. Oh, there they are. Right, so let me get some more because I need to show you this. So we've taken away the scale model scenery fencing that was originally on. Slightly overscale, excellent product, but still slightly overscale. We're taking it away from here, what we originally had, as it is extremely flimsy. Good for going around corners, I suppose. And with it being wood, it does deteriorate over time. We replace it with 3D printed from Scenic 3D. Up here, we still have, I'll just move that please. Up here, we still do have an area to do. And just point that there. You can see the size scale difference between the two. That fencing there is pretty much up to his shoulders. So 1 in 76 scale fencing, I think it's a little bit big. It's definitely not 1 in 876, I wouldn't say. This definitely is more in scale. Let me just see if I can get the camera straight on. There you go. That gives you a better angle. Andy Dobson's in. Good evening, Andy. And Arthur Humphreys. Good evening to you both. Make sure you're all clicking that thumbs up button on the way in. So we're taking away the old fencing and replacing it with this 3D printed fencing. So let's take away some more. Now, as I said, because it's wood, it literally breaks off. So if I was to knock this, in fact, it's just lifting off. It's literally lifting off. There we go. If I was to knock that, that would break really easily. So we're not only improving the scale, we're also improving the durability. Of the fencing which was there. So let's take the rest off. It's the fact that the super glue I used to put them on is stronger than the product. And there we have it. There's the old fencing out. Looks completely different without the fencing, I tell you. It looks just so very, how can I put it, not right. So now to go round cleaning up all the leftover stalks. I'll try not to cut my fingers. And also trying to cause minimal damage to the walkway that's there. Trying to chisel away the chunks of the glue. Is this coming? This is working. Ooh, it's hot. It's hot. Ooh. Trying to keep my hand out of shots as much as possible. But it's starting to come across. It's actually getting warmer up here. It's 31 degrees now. Oh, sorry. I'm just going to move the camera. Right, I'm going to move the camera up the other end. There we go. So my hand isn't in the way there. There we go. So that's all chiseled away, ready. I do need to find the hoover. So, for those of you on any headphones, this is a headphone warning. I'm about to use a cordless hoover. So if you're on headphones, you might want to just turn the volume down. Here we go. Okay, so now we need to address on how much of this fencing we need to use on here. So I'm going to lay it down, measuring it up. For those that you want to know, these sections, each of these sections are 5 inches long or 13 centimeters. Yeah, I'd say more 13 centimeters. Yeah, 13 centimeters bang on. Just over 5 inches long. Do with a small section just for the end. That might just be enough. Is that enough? It is. Perfect. Sit at the end there. Excellent. That takes it right to the end. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4 lengths, 13 plus a half length. Having a look at the chat. Let's have a look at what people are saying in the chat before we go any further. Not missed anybody. It's in the chat. It's not said missed saying hello to anybody, I don't think. If I have, apologies. If I've not said hello to you, good evening. Stephen Lockhart is in as his own account. Welcome, Steve. I've not seen you using your own account for such a long time. Excellent stuff. Just catching up on the chats. Batman is good stuff, but expensive. That is definitely. Right. What time are we on? 7:15. Don't forget, at 7:30, Donegal Dad. He was in the chat. I did see him earlier. He's getting ready to do a scenery live stream. So if you like your scenery, stick around. Click on the link, which will be in the chat at the end of the stream, and you will be joining Donegal Dad's live stream. All about scenery. So let's get physical. Let's get some of this fencing in. Trying to put this canister down, and it's not sitting on the tracks and shorts the layout. So again, use metal tweezers. There we are. So again, we're going to get the first corner section in. I'm going to come slightly out. First piece is going to be right on that tip there. There we go. Activate that. Ooh. Now you could drill little tiny holes and slot them in. This would also make them obviously a little bit lower again. But I think these are the perfect height, basically. Right, that's gone on really well. Just move these other ones to one side. I think I've missed some of the pegs there. Putting them off. That one there. Oh, actually, I cut it, but not peeled it off. Yeah. So tweezers required for this one. So we're going to be doing 2 fences with this one. We're going to be holding the current one in, but at the same time holding the new one. So just bear with me, my hand might be in the way for a moment. There we go. With the activate spray. Let that set. There we have it. Move that into place now. And then we repeat. Okay, so again, we're doing 2 fences again. So we have the glue in a blob. We get the next fence. holding them together. Once we've got them in the position that we want them. There. Activate it. And hold. There we go. Give that a moment to properly set. Moving along rapidly now. See how fast this is to put into place. Have a look at the chat. Stephen says, change my login from Route 7 to picture live chat, but no sound. Oh dear, Steve. Obviously got a problem with your devices. Maybe a reboot would be an essential commodity to fix things for you. Stanhope Model Railway, good evening to you joining us this evening. Rapid fencing, placing, on guard. Place the phone. So to see the chat. Right. Nice and solid in place now. Right in front of the camera with this one now. So again, nice dollop of the super glue gel where we want the fence end tips to be placed. So I'm happy with them right there. Activate it. There you go. It's got flat. Yep. Super duper. It'll be nice and sturdy once we get the rest of the posts all glued together. Going to see if I can turn the camera. You can see right in front now. Nice blob. And I need the short piece. Where have I put that? There it is. Let's just measure where that finishes. Adjusting that bush is actually quite good. That's right. Back a bit. Bit more. There's the gap. Hold it in place for me and get the tweezers so it's straight. Oh, wobbly hands. Oh, can't do it. The hands are wobbling too much. Let that set. There we go. So all we have left to do now is dab a glue underneath each leg. Make sure the fencing is exactly where we want it. Make sure it's not moved. Glue is starting to set itself. So it's not on the path. It's there. There we go. Back off the path now. And we're fine. Time for the activator. There we go. Let that set. And there we have it. The fencing is now replaced. Looking much better. More realistically sized. Steve's back. Don't know how, but the live stream sound suddenly started working. Great to hear, Steve. Great to have you all sorted. So there you go. That is the fencing, courtesy of Scenic 3D. I would say definitely a more realistic scale. Much better. In fact, I'll just get the old fencing, just put it back against it. You can see the difference. So that's now the new fencing. There's the old fencing. You can see the size difference. It is a major difference. Does look much better, more sturdier, more tubular as well. More tubular, like steel, because it is basically scaffolding poles that they used. So yes, it looks more tubular. Thank you very much. Everyone says that's looking the biz. New fence definitely looking a lot better. So if you want to get hands on that, I've got a bag full of it here. Still plenty of it left to go on the layouts. Should we? I'll need to. I was going to say I'll bring the loco back in, but I need to clean the track off before I do that. So that leaves a film on the activator leaves a film on the rail, so I need to wipe that off. Next thing is to obviously do some scenic details around that, weeds, bushes, and stuff like just general stuff, buddleia, that sort of stuff. Really to make it come alive, and also I've got yet to do that against the wall. So maybe we might be I might just drop a little bit of scenery in somewhere. Well, is it from Timber Surf? No, it's Scenic 3D. Jeff Reedman of Scenic 3D. Fireman says yes. It's something else. The older one did look good, indeed it did, but the new fence is much brighter and more detailed around the joint areas. Yes, it has got the rivet joints where the poles are attached together, the scaffolding poles. So yeah, it's exceptionally good. Very pleased with that. And obviously, it's more in scale as well. Totally tubular dudes, says Johan. Good evening, Johan. Thank you for joining us. How much do you get in a pack, please? I have actually quite a lot, but I'm not 100% certain, as this was a sample set that I had sent to me. But if what I will do is I'll find out from Jeff. Fortunately, he's not been able to join us this evening. But Jeff will, if you get hold of Jeff or ask him yourself, I'm sure he'll delight in informing you. But I can find out myself for you if you need to. But thank you very much. Yes, Timber does do excellent stuff himself, and I have had a few products from Timber, and they have been just splendid. Keep an eye out on Brian Finneton Central's channel on some of the station roof build supplied by Timber Surf. So yes, and I know Brian's busy with that right now. So we look forward to seeing more, Brian, on your roof, supporting roof station roofing from Timber. Right, Donegal Dad Rail is about to be joining the community live streaming with us in a few moments' time. So make sure you stick with me. Don't go anywhere. Stay on the stream because a link which will take you straight to Donegal Dad's live stream will pop up in the chat when we bring this stream to a close. So don't go anywhere yet. Stay with us to keep chatting away. Before we do, let's have your subscriber numbers in the chat. Get them in. We've got 1 minute to get those subscriber numbers in the chat. Let me see those numbers. And while you do, I need to say a huge thank you to the new channel members that have joined the channel today, this week. Mysterious Mechanic 24, SJ Train World, Valley has returned, and also Ivor and Flymo and New Dawn Junction, all returning members. As always, Andy Dobson joined us a couple of weeks ago as well. So thank you very much for all you channel members helping to support this channel, to bring these streams and these items to display to you each and every week. Without your support, I definitely would not be able to do it. There is many things coming for you, channel members, in the near future. So thank you so much for everyone that has been a channel member, new and old. You'll find links to their channels in the description of these live streams during the series being active. So huge thank you to everybody. Not only that, but a huge thank you to you, the subscribers, joining me every week for these live streams. Thank you so much indeed. I'm going to leave you with Donegal Dad's stream coming up in about 1 minute's time. But until then, I hope to see you next week for another Your Train Talk here, live, Barnabas Junction, 6 p.m. Until then, take very good care of yourselves. I'll see you at Donegal Dad live stream.